Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on back to the channel. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, well, we're back at it once again into our little bit of a metropolitan, well, I guess you could say state capital venture, because we are doing a few different things here. Well, let me go and explain what's been going on first. Between last episode and this episode, which, funnily enough, we actually just got our first bronze medal, and I'll touch on that in just a second. And we finally decided to go ahead and move forward with our bus venture. So last episode, we created the downtown trolley in the city of Lincoln, Nebraska, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. So our downtown trolley is right over here. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. It just loops around the downtown area of Lincoln, Nebraska, goes into the Haymarket area as well. The trolley itself is running on average about 1 minute behind so far. If we take a look at our tour details, 1 minute is the average delay so far since we've only just got it started. And funnily enough, we already got our first bronze medal, and we already did one of our unlocks, which I'll go and show you here real quick. So we already got our first bronze medal. That's fantastic. We already was able to go and transport or do the number of ticket sales. So that's fantastic. But now we got our increased bus network from what we're at right now from 7.2% to 11%. Which we will definitely be doing that in this episode. We also have our silver goals now, which I'm quite surprised that we got them this early on. Our silver goals is, one, we are going to have at least a 3.2 stars in the company rating, and have at least 5 ratings in total. Right now we have none, so that's actually something we're going to have to work on. For our for another silver goal, we have to create at least 3 bus routes and regularly use buses on the routes, which we definitely will be fulfilling, or at least for the most part. And then we need to sell at 1,000 tickets, which we're not even 10% of the way there yet. So we have quite a ways to go for our silver achievement. I'm quite surprised that the bronze achievement was achieved that easily, but makes sense because we're starting in a densely populated area. And I think I already got an idea as to what we're going to do for our next route. I've been taking a look both at the StarTran real-life system as well as the road networks within Lincoln. And one of the things that I've noticed, and sort of one of the things that makes the most sense to me, is the downtown itself should really be connected to the airport, or at least the city's airport. And for Lincoln, the airport is right over here. In fact, if I zoom in, the airport main building is this building right here. It doesn't say it, but if we scroll up here, there is the marker that says Lincoln Airport. This entire area is all the airport. So we're definitely going to have our bus route come out here. As for how it's going to go there from our downtown area, that's a different story. Now, I was humming and hawing this quite a bit because I didn't know what route I wanted to go ahead and base it off of, or if I wanted to just create a completely from scratch route. Now, under initial glance, I was thinking that if I take a look at the StarTran system, and I'll have this most likely as an overlay on screen or something to that extent. But the StarTran system is very, I wouldn't say interconnected, but it's very linear. Really, you only got like one route that's going to one location, and there's not really another route going to that said location whenever you're in somewhere in the city. Maybe when you're in the downtown area, it changes, but not elsewhere. But I want to go ahead and take a look to see what we can achieve by creating something inside of this city. Now, I was looking at it, and there are a few things that we can take into account. first and foremost, there is a total of like 20 different bus routes that StarTran has. So we're not going to be replicating all of those routes. In fact, looking at it more precisely, there's like 14 bus routes. So there's that. Some of those bus routes service individual schools, some of those service individual industries. What we're going to be focusing on is servicing the actual airport of Lincoln. And we're mostly going to be going through this kind of like industrial park area that's over here. This is filled with a lot of offices, a lot of industrial estates, including there is the municipal maintenance facility right over here. So there's a lot that we can unpack here. Plus, we also got this area over here. We can also include the manufacturing plant that's over here for the Kawasaki Railway, or rail manufacturer. These people build like different rail cars for different subway lines across the US. I think that they are primarily, though, a Chinese-based company. So when they're building their rail cars here in the US, most of their parts, if I'm not mistaken, do come from China. That right there. Editor Leo here. Real quick, that is partially true, partially incorrect. Before you go into the comments and say that that's not accurate, here's what Kawasaki actually does. They are both a motorcycle manufacturing company and a railway manufacturing company. They are primarily a Chinese manufacturer, but all of their products that are produced here in the US, or at least within the Lincoln manufacturing plant for their rail cars, all of their resources and parts are built here in the US as well. This is something that I just learned while I was editing the video, so I do apologize for the misinformation there. So a bit disappointing, not something to go and throw judgment on, but something to keep in mind. We can possibly go and run a couple special services over to that area in particular. And I think I got an idea as to what route we're going to establish. So firstly, I'm going to go ahead and make it so that way this route is coming from the downtown area. It is going to come out here onto the Cornhusker Highway, which actually, I was thinking that this was Cornhusker Highway, but no, this is the Cornhusker Highway all along here. This road right here, though, is the Salt Creek. What is that? Salt Creek Roadway? Yeah, Salt Creek Road. Where it just connects a couple different parts of the northern downtown area, as well as Memorial Stadium, which is, if we could take a look right here, it's literally just right here. Yeah, Memorial Stadium. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. We're most likely going to have these routes come along here and go through these roundabouts and come along this street. Then after we come along this street, we're going to have it come down this road. This is, if I'm not mistaken, 14th Street? Let me just double check that. No, that is North Antelope Valley, a completely different naming convention. And we're going to have it continue until right here, which this is Adams Street. Adams Street kind of dead ends into this roundabout over here, which when it gets to this roundabout, normally the route that services the actual airport for Lincoln comes down here and then goes via this park. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to have it go north up to, what street is that? Up to Superior Street, which Superior Street is right here. And we are going to have about two different variations of the route. One of the variations is going to come all across here and over into the Kawasaki area and then come down towards the airport. The other variation of the route is just going to come down here and then continue back to the regular route. Both of these are going to be very intricate. In fact, actually, I'm not going to have them as two different variations of the same route. What I'm going to do, and I'm just thinking of this as a spur of the moment type deal, is we're going to have the main route for this airport line come down this road right here. Then later on, we're going to have a secondary route that comes from the airport going all the way up here, which I believe this is 13th or 14th Street right here, all the way up to this roundabout. Some of the services will go over to Kawasaki, and then some of them will come down this way. When it comes down this way, though, it is going to come all the way down Superior Street and come straight through Superior over to here. Over here is the 27th Street Walmart, which is kind of like a an impromptu transfer center, in my opinion. So that is one route that we'll definitely go and explore. So let's go ahead and get those made. So we're going to create our first route. And we're going to just title this Route 11. Okay. Route 11, Downtown Airport. Okay. And let's go and give it a small little coloration. A bit of a blue contrast. Okay. Now we want this to be coming in over at the Gold's Transit Center, which is over at 11th Street. There's a lot of different interconnections that happen over here, so that's kind of why I want to lean towards that being a connection point. And based on the existing routes, I think what we can do is we can have it, kind of trying to think to myself here, see what we can actually accomplish. What we're going to do is we're going to have it come to this end street stop. And then we're going to have it loop around here a little bit before going through these one-way roads. And then it's going to come up, what is this, 16th Street? Oh, shoot. My actual map that I'm using for reference is breaking up. Okay, yeah, I think that is 16th Street, so we'll definitely be utilizing that. Okay, so there's that. We're going to go and utilize 16th and 17th Street as well as M and N streets. So let's go and get these bus routes going. So the first stop that I want to add to this is going to be right over here at the State Capitol building. This is going to interconnect with our downtown trolley. We're going to go ahead and just rename this to M and 14th Street. And that is the southeast, yeah, southeast stop. Okay, I'm going to go in time lapse here from this point, and we're going to go ahead and follow up when we are good to go. that is a good enough route to get that moving along. 16-mile route, I think that actually is a pretty decent size, to be fair. Going from the airport, going down to Northwest 12th, going up to West Highland, going over to Northwest 1st, then going down 1st Street, then going across Adams Avenue or Adams Street, and then coming down 14th Street, and of course Antelope Valley, and then of course making its way into downtown. I think that's pretty good. A lot of connected buildings on this route, a lot more than, of course, our Route 55, which is downtown trolley. So, with that said, let's go and create our said routes. And we have a high demand for this route, so this is going to be quite popular. Let's go into the advanced settings and get this going. So first and foremost, I want to establish our inbound and outbound. So inbound is going to be our routes going to the airport, which I'm just going to name our northbound routes are going to airport. I'm going to disable Saturday and Sunday because I think I'll have a separate schedule for them. And let's go ahead and get rid of the stops that are on the southbound direction. In fact, we could just have this be eastbound and westbound instead, which I think that would make more sense in my opinion. Get this up to the airport, thank you. 37 minutes to travel in one direction. Okay, so we'll have this be the westbound airport trip, and I think we'll have it start at about 5:20 in the morning. We went to easy mode real quick. It says that we're going to have on average about 20 or 205 passengers per hour on that direction alone. We went over to custom and then created our eastbound going to downtown, and we got rid of our stops that are coming from the westbound direction. Then we'll be able to get an idea as to what our eastbound route will look like. Yeah, 300 in our eastbound direction. So that's going to be quite substantial. In fact, it picks up right away between the 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock hour. And surprisingly enough, it does drop down almost immediately after 9 o'clock. So that's pretty good. If we take a look once again at our airport route, and we'll see a similar trend. But instead of it dropping off completely, there is still demand during the non-peak hours, or I'll say non-operating hours, between midnight and 4 a.m. and then of course between 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. and midnight. Okay. There's a bit of a drop in the middle of the day, which is fine. So that's pretty good actually. Oh, did not mean to close that out. Okay. So we got our westbound and airport, eastbound downtown trips created. I'm going to create a similar schedule to our westbound and for our westbound and eastbound on the weekends, but I think that those will be less frequent. Now, here's a nifty thing that you can do. Say that you do have it where it's a selected number of stops on one different schedule compared to another. You can click on this copy button right here. And what that will do is if you want to go and copy that same list of stops, you click the paste button here and it pastes that list of stops here, which is perfect, which I absolutely love. This one we're going to go and disable Monday through Friday, and this one's only going to be a Saturday and Sunday. And then eastbound airport, or eastbound to downtown, not airport. Let's go and disable the weekdays on this route, and then we are going to do the same type of copy paste over here. That's perfect. Okay, so we got 37 minutes going in one direction going to the airport, and then 34 minutes coming in the other direction going from the airport, which is pretty good. So I think what we're going to do from the start, we're going to most likely have a consistency there where we do every 60 minutes for the airport trips on the weekends. That, or we'll go in and make it be every 40 minutes, which makes more sense in my opinion. Or what we could do is, would 75 minutes be enough to be good? We could have it be every 80 minutes instead. I'll have to, let me go and cut here for a moment, and then I will click you guys back up when, or pick you guys back up when I figured out a good schedule for us to go off of. Okay, so about 20 minutes have passed between the last clip and now, and I think we are all good to go. So I ended up working on an actual timetable that would work best for this route. I did go and provide a little bit of timing so that way we had some extra times for any sort of time points that we wanted to have. The time points that I utilized for creating the schedule was 2 time points between Golds and Lincoln Airport, and that is the 14th and Butler Avenue stop, which is right here. And then we have the Northwest First and Technology Drive, which is right here. It is quite the distance between at least Golds and 14th and Butler, because that's 20 minutes duration right there. So bear in mind that, if you will. But regardless, we will have on average about 4 buses, or correction, 2 buses running this line Monday through Friday, as well as on Saturdays. On Monday through Friday, though, during the peak hours, there's going to be an additional couple of buses. So that's something that we'll go and keep an eye on as well. During the mornings, I have it set up, or during the weekdays, I have it set up where it's starting at like 5:15 in the morning. In the evenings, or on weekends, it's starting at 6:35 in the morning instead. Just to cater to those weekend travelers, so to speak. Let's go ahead and confirm the route. It's going to ask us whether or not we want to add some charging stations to the final stops, which the final stops are over at Golds and over at the Lincoln Airport, which we will go ahead and do so. And I believe that is going to be all for that route. Now, it is going to prompt us to set up our first buses, which right here we have. So our first buses are already set, and it's setting it up perfectly. So let's go ahead and assign these buses to our routes, or assign these routes to our buses. Going to get our first one on that one and first one there. So that is pretty solid. And I think that is what we're going to do with. And I'm going to let the game run for a little bit, just so that way we can get the tours done. We can go and get this bus network increase done. And we can hopefully get this done as well, or at least our second silver goal, or we can get that progress going along quite nicely. With that said, I'm going to go and cut. I think that's going to call it for this episode. Not very useful. Awesome. We did go and get that increased bus network, so we did get a little bit of cash right there and some rewards. What we're going to do now is actually, instead of calling it an episode, no, we actually have to add in the extra service. Forgot about that. I'm going to add in that to our extra bus. So we'll be good there. Let's go and do a little bit of research now. So we can either research another solo e-bus, or let's see, is there anything else that we can do? Or a regular solo bus. And I think we're going to have to hold off on that, because I don't want to go and spend our money willy-nilly, because trust me, it is going to go by quick if we do not keep an eye on it. So I'm definitely going to do that. With that said, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the routes and see how they're performing. We got our first of the buses right over here, downtown airport route. We're not going to get many people on this route so far, which right now it doesn't have good utilization. Both of them are at their terminus locations. They're going to be there until the start of their first trip, which is coming up here in just a moment. You're actually already started, so you already got 12 people on your bus, so that's perfect. Going up to 19. And as we progress forward, I'm going to keep this at 2 times speed, just so that way we're not going crazily. As we progress forward, we're going to see that it is going to increase its for our passenger capacity. So we're going to get people consistently using the buses. I think around here, or actually after this point, we should end up, yeah, there's the other bus. The other bus is going to be going in that opposite direction. So that's perfect. So that's fine right there. We may end up having to consider getting additional buses as well. Because while we do need just one bus on the downtown airport, we need 4 buses on this, or correction. While we do need one bus on the downtown trolley line, we do need 4 buses at maximum on the downtown airport route, which would go to max us out. So to go and give us a little bit of leeway, I think what we're going to do is we're going to purchase another bus. And ideally, I would want to put the bus right over here. So let's go and do that real quick. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to go ahead, go down to 1 time speed. I'm going to change... no, we can continue to use the medium parking spaces. So we're going to put a parking space. I want to say we're going to put 1, 2, and 3. We can't put a 4th one down here. Damn it. Oh well. I was going to put a 4th one over here because it's just 1 short. That's infuriating. What we could do if we wanted to, like, imp out a little bit, we could actually go and change the size of our warehouse. So let me go and do that real quick. I'm going to do that. Put you there, you there, you there, and you there. Let's go ahead and demolish that bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this door right here. That's fine. Okay, that is fine. Then we'll go back to our street, and perfect. We can add in our 4th spot right there. I'm okay with having 4 spots right there. That's perfect, actually. So let's go and get our buses equipped here with our charging stations, since we're using e-buses for the most part. And let's go and get a couple more buses. So we're pretty good with the e-ways, so I'm going to continue getting those. We could continue going the route where we purchase brand new ones, or we can go the route where we purchase used ones. These used buses are really really not necessarily the greatest, because you have to take them with a grain of salt, so to speak, because they could have lingering issues that you're not aware of. Like, for example, this e-way used bus right now, it says that it needs to have some repairs done for it, slightly. This one even more so, because it needs to have its tires and brake pads replaced. So that's something to keep in mind right there when you're buying used vehicles. Granted, they're going to be at a lesser cost, but it's still something to keep in mind. Now, something I did forget to do, and this is something we should do right now, is actually get our replacement parts. We can get these coming into us relatively early on, so that's perfectly fine. Let's actually go and get about 3 of each of these. So we need lights, indicators, wipers. I don't think we need air conditioners right now. We definitely are going to need tire sets and brake pads. Batteries would be a good call, which I think I'll just get 2 of those. These are really expensive, so we got to be careful about that. We don't need oil, we don't need V-belts, we don't need a router yet because we have not unlocked routers. That's going to be later on down the lines. And then we don't need air conditioning right now as well, because we haven't unlocked that as an upgrade. Once when we do upgrade our buses to support air conditioners, then we will start needing this. In fact, it's one of the very first bus upgrades that you can get. So I'm going to go and queue these ones up to come later on today, so that's perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and have 2 new buses coming along for the e-ways. We're going to need the extras. Let's go with StarTran E-way. There we go. The same livery that we had last episode that we created, so that's perfectly fine. And that should be good to go. We don't need to worry about modifying the actual service center yet. We will later on, though. Good thing that these guys are all good with how they want to sort themselves out. Now, we do need to have a 3rd bus route. Our third bus route, we could do something similar with the airport, having another airport trip going along here instead and having it go over to Walmart. But I think I want to try something different. So let's see. If I take a look here, there is some things that we can do with this. I was thinking, like, how far this way do we go? We go all the way out to the Southwest Community College, which that might be good. We need to get another trolley bus set up or sent out. So do that real quick. Thank you. Now, I'm thinking that I want to set up. Actually, it's one of the routes that StarTrain in real life has, which we may end up duplicating this route because it makes things. It makes sense in my opinion. Because of all it is a route that goes out to Southeast Community College, which is out here, and it goes via the Gateway Mall, which is over here, and it comes all around here and goes all down O Street, which we are able to do that right now. Part of me doesn't want to do that just because it could be one of those routes that aren't going to be beneficial in the long term. But that might actually be a good call for us. I don't know. We got a couple different options then. So our first option is creating that O Street route that goes out to the community college via the Gateway Mall. Okay. Our second option, and I was thinking this over as well, is having a route that connects downtown over to the Walmart Superior Street and going up here, because this would be the Route 27 that StarTrain has, if I recall correctly, which comes up here, comes through the actual college area for UNL, and then comes through Vine, and then goes up 27th Street. When it goes up to 27th, it comes through Walmart, and then does a loop around here. So that's something we could look into. That's a second option right there. I guess a third option then, just to look around. Maybe we go ahead and connect the zoo, because the zoo is just right here. And that would be in the form of a shuttle. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think we should go ahead and work on next, because we really want to go ahead and progress with that silver goal for creating 3 bus routes, which we just got another bit of change right there. We got to go ahead and dedicate another bus to our airport line, so let's do that real quick. So yeah, tell me what you guys want to see in the comments. We either can do the O Street route, we can do the 27th Street route, or we can do the zoo route. Tell me which one you guys want to do. Let me know down in the comments. Obviously, we can go and do something a bit more freeform as well. If you guys got any ideas, suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section, and I will make sure to go ahead and look them over. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will chit chat with you later.